Sometimes people call me IIS Apple. Sometimes people call me .NET V 4.5. Sometimes I'm guessed. That was a joke. So if you look at it, wherever I'll touch, you'll see the touch point on the screen just to give you a little bit of visibility. And you see it's very, very fluid. I keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Towards the end, there's a nice subtle animation that tells you that, dude, you've come towards the end of the screen. Go back where you came from. And I can do that. Let me launch one or two applications just to show you how the experience looks like. This is one of my favorite apps. So you see, the moment the app is launched, you have every single pixel available on the screen for your app. For a lack of a better word, we say it's a Chrome-less experience. You don't see any files, menus, right-click, left-click, nothing of that sort. So you can provide the content that is most important for you and for users. If you see this is a classical example of how you can build immersive experiences on Windows 8 platform. That every single pixel, the image, you get the news, you get some important data points where you want to capture users' attention, and you can still use the similar gesture. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, and then you get to the end. And if you see, there's nice subtle animations and gesture happening, how the data screen coming towards the image screen, and how the overlap happens. Everything that you're seeing in this app is built using HTML5 and JavaScript. There's no black magic going on in the background, no C++ libraries. You could do that, and we're going to show you how you can do C# and .NET on Windows platform, but I just wanted to show you from connecting the dots from the previous presentation. This is natively built in HTML5 and JavaScript, and you still get all the platform level capabilities. Now, one more thing which is interesting to see in this application is, as the end user, you might be wondering, if I had this application and I wanted to interact with the system, I wanted to add something, remove something, change something, do the navigation, what do I do apart from gestures that I'm showing to do? So we have a standard notion of gestures, swipe, coming from top to down or from bottom to up. So instead of building a Chrome around the application, we have a notion of app bars. And this is consistent across every single application that runs on Windows 8, including our own start screen. So if I go back on the start screen and I do a swipe, you will get the error. So either from bottom to up or top to down, you will get that. Going back to the app, this is where your navigation points come in, adding a watch list, or this could be your command and control that you want and how you expect a user to interact with your app. Now, one more thing that I want to share before I move on. So, wow, 30 was. So I was hoping that it will be green when I get on the stage. I was asking people to buy Microsoft Share, buy Microsoft Share. Just kidding. So if you see this is one part of the application. What if this is the most interesting part for me? What we can do is that we can slice and dice the information that is more important for me, more relevant for me, and take it to the front screen, take it to the start screen. How do I do that? I do the gesture. It's already pinned, so I'm just going to remove it for the sake of the demo. And I'll say pin this down. And I'll say Microsoft. What I've just done now is that I've taken this part of the application and placed it on my start screen. And I'm going to show you how it looks like on the start screen. So although this is embedded in the screen, embedded in the application, it becomes a first-class citizen of what we have and what we call tiles. Do you see this Microsoft Corporation tile here? And the moment I launch it, it will take me to where I was. So I could slice and dice information available in an app, and I can pick and choose areas that are more important for me. So we call that notion of pinning, and the pin goes to the start screen, and then you can pick and choose what is more relevant for you. Coming back, you see the start screen. You see those live tiles being updated. We call those tiles. We call those live tiles. So the screen is alive with activity. If I get a new email, it will come right on the screen and it will tell me what's happening, instead of me going and launching the application and pressing F5 and syncing my record and so on. Everything happens very intuitively without you having to do anything extra. Another application that I really like, and I can show you very quickly, is this weather app. Again, you see the launch screen, how it gets every single pixel available on the screen real estate. And The moment you look at it, you don't even have to read anything on the screen. You know what's happening. So it's a weather app. Looking at the image, looking at some of the numbers, you already get the gist of what's happening. So this is kind of immersive experiences that you can build on Windows 8 platform. Again, you can use the similar gestures of swiping and swiping and swiping, and it is the same thing. Now if I go back, a couple of more things that I want to show you on start screen is that if you get to install a lot of apps, and we were seeing in a previous example, you had 85 app updates coming in on your iOS device. So it becomes difficult if you have so many apps and if you want to manage your icons traditionally, which one goes to the first screen or the second screen, the few apps that you want to use more regularly than the other. How do you interact with the system in that way? So we have a very intuitive notion of semantic zooming. I can very quickly zoom across between apps. I can, even if I have hundreds of apps installed, I can very quickly go where I really want to go. So it's not an optical zoom, it's a semantic zoom. So you see how the icons and how the live tiles and their visibility is changing. And if I go back, you get the same size again. So this is available out of the box, and this is a platform level capability. What if I was interested in, for example, bringing Verdaman, which is one of my favorite apps, to the start screen? I can very easily bring it where I want it to be. And what I can also do is, I can use another hand to move it where I want it to. So it's not that you need to launch an app manager, go into your desktop, say that I want to place this icon on a fifth screen, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, and then you get there, nothing like that. So it's very fast, very fluid, very smooth, very intuitive. Another thing that I want to share with you before we go into the demos is that the notion of chance. The moment you swipe from right to left, this is what we call chance that comes up on the screen. So you have search, you have share, you have devices, you have settings, and you have obviously the start button. I'll focus on search and share. What it really means for us developers sitting here in this room is that now search and share is built as a platform level capability into Windows 8 platform. So you don't have to spend time and resources in building search capabilities in your application. And I'm going to show you a classical example of how you can use search level capabilities, and then I'll move into share demos. So if you remember, Ziri had mentioned that how and why search is important, and in terms of discoverability, I want to use that as a segue and go into my demo now. So if I click on, without clicking anything, by the way, I'm using keyboard and mouse along with the touch experience that you guys are seeing on the screen. I'll just start typing, right? I'll use this Microsoft Arc keyboard and I'll type Singapore. And I'll say, all of the apps that you see get listed here are saying that we can participate in search. So Windows as an operating system knows that which app has which capability, and those apps get listed here in terms of the capabilities. So it could be your app participating in those keywords that you are more interested in. So if I go here and click on store, that means now I'm passing a keyword to store and saying that, can you search Singapore for me? If internet is connected, we'll be able to see result queries coming out, but you'll see that the screen is almost empty. And this is where Ziriad's point comes in and becomes more important, that this is a huge developer opportunity for all of us sitting here. If I was participating in Singapore as a keyword, building apps that make more sense for Singapore as a country, as a brand, our apps will get listed. And remember, this is not that somebody is going to the store and trying to search. It's any search that's happening on a Windows 8 platform. If you remember some numbers that we shared earlier today, more than 500 million devices capable of running Windows 8. And the last number that I heard was that we have more than 1.2 billion Windows operating systems out there in any shape or form, including Windows servers. So that's a super, super exciting opportunity for all of us to go through that. And Bruce and I will show one of the demos how you can really build the search and participate in the search query and do the autocomplete. So I'll very quickly move towards my last thing that I want to show, and we'll jump into the demos right ahead. So you launch CNN.com, and I'll So I have a quick keyboard shortcut, Windows C, that launches the chance bar. And what I want to do is share it. So if I come across an article, I want to share it, I don't have to build Chrome around my application saying that share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Renren, share it on Weibo, or the next big social media that's going to happen. You don't have to worry about that. As long as app is available on Windows platform, we know that these apps are available for participating in a search as a receiver. They'll get listed in it. So I can send email. I can send it to one of the samples that we have built, or I can send it to Renren, or I could send it to, if I had Facebook and Twitter installed, you would be able to see it. So you don't have to worry about it. You focus on what's more important for you, and you get to the business. You don't worry about bells and whistles and platform level pieces around it. So if we can switch back to the PowerPoint slide, to the other PC, we will get started. Can we switch back, please? All right, awesome.